Are you looking to outsource some of your work to free up your time, but you're not really sure what you can outsource or what you shouldn't be outsourcing? If so, then this is the episode you want to tune into today, and be sure to share this out. So let's dive into it.
Can't say I never tried to warn ya.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ed Troxell from edtroxell.com, where I help you elevate your brand with live streaming video. That's right. And today's episode is sponsored by my new program, Coaches Go Live, where I can help you create your own live streaming show that you can repurpose into a podcast if you want and be able to go live without any tech headaches so that you can stay relevant and increase your visibility online and stay top of mind with everyone in your industry. So if you want to learn more, be sure to head over to coachesgolive.com or feel free to message me anytime here on social or over on the website. Now, today I'm super excited because I'm going to have a special guest. We're going to be talking about outsourcing. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on our special guest. Good morning. Welcome, Sarah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Good. That music makes me want to dance. That's a very good intro.
Every time I'm like in the background, like, yeah.
I know. Like, let's go.
It's a great way to shake off those nerves. Like here's a tip right out of the gate for everyone is, when going live, no matter how experienced you are or maybe are not yet, having something that helps shake off your nerves, like music and playing in the background before you go live, can really help and really gets you like pumped up and ready to go.
It does. I love it.
Thank you. And so for those people who may not know you, go ahead and give a little intro about who you are and what you do.
Yes. So I am an online business manager. I help coaches and entrepreneurs who have teams of 3 and more to organize their systems, to get, their processes in place, to move them into proactive team management. A lot of times we're more in this reactive, like, oh my gosh, this is due right now. How are we going to get it out? And so I like to flip the switch, and we are actually going to be proactive and not have late things popping up. And then I love just diving into business strategy and all the things that they can do to continue to grow their business. So that's my main. And then I help a lot of coaches with launching. Launching is my jam. It literally, while it scares most people, it excites me to my core. And so I love jumping in with coaches and just kind of directing their team to make sure they have profitable launches and without all the headache and stress and ulcers that launches tend to give us at the end. So
yes, It's so true. And what you do is very much needed. And what came up for this episode, to give everyone a little background, is I was watching one of your live videos that popped up in my newsfeed, and you had talked about outsourcing and things that you can and can't outsource. And so that's what sparked today's episode, because it's really, really important for all of us to know that there are things that we can and should outsource in our business. But then there's also certain things that we can't and we shouldn't, because we need to actually do them. So let's start talking about that, because that's really, really important for everyone to understand.
Yeah, you caught me on my soapbox day of like, I was like, no, we need to stop this. It's not okay. So what I find when coaches hire me, most of them are wonderful and they know that they need to show up, right? In order to grow, that they need to be active in their businesses. Every once in a while, I will have a coach that does not quite understand that. So they say, you know what, you take care of the content, you take care of all the things, and they stop showing up. They stop going live. They stop participating in their groups. They stop DMing people. They stop networking. They stop taking content, like connection calls. And it's right then and there that your business is going to plummet. It doesn't matter how good of support you have. It doesn't matter if you have an OBM that really is passionate about your business like you are. If you stop showing up, no one is going to buy, because they buy from those they like, know, and trust. And if they never see you, if they never hear you, if they never know what you're thinking and what you're doing, you're not going to have buyers. So it's something that I am so passionate about, because every time I see it, I want to like wring someone's neck and say, stop, you still have to show up. I know you hired me. I can take care of your team. I can help you grow, but you have to show up. I can't put on a mask that looks like you and go live. It won't work. So yeah, it's very like, it's a common issue that I see is just when you start outsourcing, you try to outsource the things that you really shouldn't, because people need to see you.
Yes, and that's key. And that's what I want everyone to pay attention to, is that people need to see you, they need to hear you, they need to feel your energy. And that's what I love about live broadcasting, because it allows you to show up as only you can and be your authentic self and bring that personality to your brand and really allow people to connect with you, which builds a stronger foundation, a stronger relationship, that it doesn't matter if your competition is doing the exact same thing, because you're the one who gets to stand out in that person's mind.
They love you. And you know, it's funny, because even when they start groups, I say, have a community manager, have your community manager start showing up, doing the admin stuff in your community, which is fine. But again, the thing that I notice is when they stop going live, when they stop putting their face forward in their unique personal way, you know, ratings drop, algorithms drop, everything tanks. You know, you can have someone in your groups doing posting your events or doing your welcome, but no, go live still. Let people see you, because you're right. There's 1,000 coaches out there, but there's only one you. And the only way they're going to see that is when you're live and when you're actually putting yourself forward and putting it all on the line for them to see, right? For them to fall in love with, because we're unique.
Yes. And I love that you bring that up too, around the groups and how you have seen firsthand how things start to tank across the board when people don't show up for themselves and for their audience. And that's something that's really important, because I think when we become entrepreneurs, when we really get into the online space, we automatically hear all these things around outsource everything, automate everything. So then that way you just live this, you know, free lifestyle where you're not having to do anything or worry about anything.
Right.
And it's like, well, yeah, but if you do that, you're not going to have any personal connections. Therefore, like you said, everything starts to tank.
And it doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. So what I love about live, and I have a coach, she's super popular. She does an amazing job. And she was going live every Friday for 45 minutes, right? And like teaching on all this stuff. And I said, hey, stop, just hold the phone. How about you go live 3 to 4 times a week for only 5 minutes at a time when you feel something come up that you want to share with your audience? She goes, oh, I love that even more. I don't even have to plan for it. It can literally be in the spur of the moment when I'm in and that's when you guys catch me. You will catch me on my soapboxes, and I get on and I'm like, yo, I can't show up for you, right? And so I told her to do the same for her clients, and her algorithms have skyrocketed. The other day, she's like, Soraya, this is incredible. Everything is just blowing up. And I said, we don't have to show up live and make it this huge fanfare. We can literally go for 5-10 minutes, give a motivation, tell someone a tip or trick, and then get off. It doesn't have to be a hour. Please don't make it an hour long. Like, no one even wants that, y'all. They don't. I don't have time for it. I don't know about any, but make it short, make it sweet. People see your personality, they fall in love with you, and they're able to, grab it, and it makes it easy for you. It's so easy.
And that's the thing. And that's the beauty of it too. I love how you brought up time, because one of the questions I get asked so many times from clients is, how long should I go live for? And it depends, right? It depends on the content. It depends on the audience. And so knowing that it doesn't have to be an hour, is huge. Knowing that it will only be a 5, maybe 10-minute thing is great. Sometimes it's going to go longer. It just depends on the content and your audience. But the fact that you actually are showing up live for them and giving them some piece of information, some piece of value, it's huge, because that means that you've done your job and now you can let it do its job, whether it's repurposing that on a blog post or podcast episode, or even in your membership areas or your Facebook groups. Like, that's the beauty of it, is you show up one time to do one thing, and boom, it sets off this chain reaction for all these other things that you can do in your business.
Well, and that's what's so now when I bring people on, new clients, I have a requirement. You have to go live at least once a week. And you have to go live for at least 5 to 10 minutes minimum, right? So if you can, 30 minutes is my happy space. Like, if it goes past 30, unless you're in a launch, and we can talk about that. Like, launches typically run 45 minutes, but people understand they're there. They have a workbook, they have tasks, they have homework, right? They're like really diving in. But when it's just willy-nilly, or when you're just, in your audience, because I take that and we create posts for Instagram, I actually take it and I create IGTV. I throw it into LinkedIn, that live, we can save it and then add cute captions, throw it onto the stories. The podcast is great. You can make it into a blog. You can make it into an email. You can then text it out to your people. Like, the possibilities are endless on just even a 10-minute live. I can literally get enough content for a week or two. So I require it now, because it's so effortless for coaches to go live, and a lot of them are afraid of it. But once you step past it, you are literally giving your team enough material for 2 weeks just for going live for 10 minutes. Why wouldn't you? It's a no-brainer, right? And your clients get to see you and fall in love with you even more, and see your personality, and see when you vent and get on your soapbox. Hey, it's fun. So
yes. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's the important part, is that it's that one action that allows us to have so much. And that's when then you can outsource that part of the editing or the repurposing or whatever it is. Like, that's the part that you can outsource, but you still have to show up first and be able to deliver that content in a live video, because again, live is the next best thing to being in person, and it allows people to really connect with you on a much deeper level. And that's what's going to make you stand out, not only with others, but also, like we were talking about, with the algorithms. For those who don't know, we're talking about the news feed on Facebook or on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're showing up, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn now has it. I mean, LinkedIn has stories. It cracks me up. Yes, but it should show you how popular it is and how much it's needed.
Yeah, video format is across the board at the top of what everyone wants and actually needs. And so that's why it's so important. And it's not just pre-recorded video. It's what we're talking about, live. Live is different than pre-recorded, and it allows you to be in real time, and it's what the platforms favor
that they want.
Anything else.
Yeah. It's so much, I made a list, because when we talked, I was like, ooh, what can they outsource? Because I'm sure they're sitting here like, okay, I have to go live. That's fine. And it's not even about have to. Once you get in the rhythm, right, and get used to it, it's so much fun. Like, I now just love going live, because it's like, okay, it's my time to just show up and be me. But so my first was, do not outsource, right? Like, do not outsource your lives. No one can dress up as you. The only really good impersonator I've seen is people impersonating Trump. And that's because he's hysterical to do. So maybe he can get away with it. We really can't. Connections, right? Like, being in your DMs and talking to people. While you can have your VA, like, message people back and forth, at some point you need to be in there too, and really establishing those like stronger connections. And then networking. No one can take calls for you. No one can get on and make those referral connections are massive. And it's something that people usually forget. What you can outsource is your content repurposing, all your admin, have someone check your emails, have someone, manage your calendar, have someone do all of that. I have someone write my thank you notes. I do. I'm not even ashamed. I write it down what to say, and then my VA writes it all out in a pretty little card and sends it off, because that's something that it's my words, but I don't have time to sit and write, 15 a day. Your website updates, your team management. But the one thing you cannot outsource is your lives. Just don't do it. People want to see you. And even when you're a hot mess or scared, or, half the time I'm like, and I tell people this, I'm like, see my pen's right here. I'm playing with the pen the whole time I'm on live, because I'm stressed out to the max, right? Like I say, I have sweat and it's like awful, but you do it and you show up and it gets easier. And people kind of like the hot messes. They like seeing you in a vulnerable state, being yourself.
Yes. And I love that you bring that up, because as you saw, I have water, one, to stay hydrated, but two, it's also nice to just hold below the camera.
Yes.
So something, because, if you think about it, when we're at a party and we don't know everyone there, we tend to go grab a cup and hang with it, and we feel a little bit more comfortable because we have something.
It's true. Well, because we can slowly drink it when we don't want to talk to someone, like, oh crap, they're coming.
Yes, yeah. And then it can also look interesting, like, okay, I don't know, but I'm so glad, and also, it's one of those things too. I love that you brought this up, because I realized that at the beginning of this episode, I said Sarah, and I messed up, because, and it may not have been noticed, because I was.
I don't think anyone noticed it.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of tech issues at the beginning of this episode, and so I was like just trying to make sure I got straight on. And so when I saw your name, I just saw the SAR, and in my brain it automatically went Sarah, and I felt so bad, and I realized this is live. This is what happens, and this is the beauty of it, is that
it's amazing. It's so much fun. Well, because now we can go into a 20-minute conversation about my name and where it came from and why my parents called me Soraya. And right, like it's live. It's fun.
Yes, exactly. And that's the beauty of it. And so, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, yes, but I don't want to mess up, know that we all do. It doesn't matter how experienced you are or not. It's real life, and that's just what happens. And then you just laugh it off and keep moving forward.
Another fun tip, and I've been doing this because I've made it a goal to go live every day from Monday to Friday. I've now started scheduling people to come live with me on StreamYard. Yes. It takes away the pressure of you just going live on your own all the time and like coming up with topics and talking to yourself. Though I love talking to myself, sometimes people don't want to hear about me, right? So that's another tip that I love, because again, you can do this like back and forth. You can create content out of it. You can put it on your podcast, YouTube, whatever you want, and it's still relatable and people love it, right? They love hearing names butchered. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's so true. And in fact, fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but when I first started live streaming, I actually went 5 days a week, and I literally for 9 months, I think I might have missed 3 days.
I love that.
9 months. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And
it's a lot.
And it's one of those things that I really enjoy. Obviously, I'm still doing it, and this is now what I teach people how to do.
Yep.
But it's one of those things that I love being able to, like you said, have other people on the show, hence why you're here, because it makes it more interesting. You have more dynamics going on, and you have that real conversation. And as we know, when it comes to social media, when it comes to business, everything starts with the conversation, and that's what leads to those connections, those calls, those referrals, those sales, those opportunities for you to grow. And it's just so powerful. And that's why I love live, because it just helps you get there a little bit quicker.
Yeah. The way that I do live every day, because I know people watch this, and I say this all the time because people are like, how are you going live every day? Right. I have 5 kids. I homeschool. I work, and I juggle a crap ton of kids. You can quote me on that because I do. But I now, when I'm having conversations with people, because you said it starts with conversation. So I have at least one networking call a day. I jot down something that I share with them. If they ask me like, what's an OBM? Or, well, how do I do X, Y, and Z? Or why is it important to launch? I jot down what I say and I go live on what I said. So I never create content. I never plan ahead. I literally take my day, and as I feel inspired, as I say something, that's what I go live about. So we don't even have to make it like this huge scientific planning it out at the beginning of the month and like making it a big deal. Just go about your day. And when you say something that hits you, make note of it. When you're done with that call, done with that client, done with that teaching, go live and share it with everyone. It's so easy, and it's a no-brainer. That's the only way I can go live. I do not plan ahead. I'm like a squirrel and I go. So
I love that. And that is a great tip for everyone. And for some of you listening, you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but I totally am a planner. That's fine too.
Then plan. Yeah.
We're all different. Yeah, we're all different, and we all learn differently. We all teach differently, and it's important for you to realize what it is that you prefer and to be able to start building around that. And I love how you mentioned that you're taking notes of the questions people are asking you. So even if somebody is listening right now thinking, okay, but I'm not jumping on a whole lot of calls, I'm just mostly on social. Here's the thing. Check out the questions that people are asking you, but also inside of these groups that you're in.
Yep.
What are they? What are the questions? Are they relevant to you? And make note of that, because that's your content.
Yeah.
That's what you can share.
And then go live and answer that dang question. No one needs to know that you got it from, Boss Moms or, whatever. Like, no one needs to know. You can just say, hey, I was asked this question. I want to answer it. Like, and if you plan, that's great. But the biggest thing is to not make excuses to not show up. And that's my biggest thing. Like, the planners are great at planning, and I like commend them. I wish I could be less squirrely and more like, oh yes, let's plan my whole month out. But I kept using it as an excuse. I kept saying, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Therefore, I'm not going live. Therefore, I'm not doing content. No, because once you become an entrepreneur, it's not about creating excuses. It's about creating solutions. And so my solution for me not, planning a month in advance was, okay, I'm just going to go with whatever pops up that day, right? I'm going to be a squirrel and we're going to be awesome about it. So at the end of the day, just don't make an excuse. Just find what works for you and jump in.
Yes. Oh, that was so good. Oh, I know we could go on and on. That was really good. But I want to make sure that we're cautious of your time as well.
Yes.
You have a busy day.
You know me. I'm like 30 minutes or less, Ed. 30 minutes.
Really good, jam-packed episode. So where can people find out more about you? I have it in the description, but also feel free to let them know here. And if you have any last tips or last things you want to leave us with.
Gosh, I always have tips. I could talk all day. It's so I'm on Instagram, Soraya Fulati OBM. Say my name 10 times fast and I'll send you a free coffee. I'm also on Facebook, same thing, Soraya Fulati and then OBM. My business name is Panda Source. And so you can see that on Facebook too. So it's in my squirrel nature. You never know which page I'm going to post on, and I'm owning it for now because it is a-okay. And then shoot me a message, a DM. At the end of the day, we're all busy. We're all scared. We're all trying to figure out this whole like online entrepreneur world and how to, show up and blow up and like take space, right? Because we need to take space in order to grow. And it's just about showing up, even scared, even imperfect, being called Sarah. It doesn't freaking matter. You go there, you do it. And then later you may be screaming your pillow or you call your mom. You're like, I can't believe I just went live, right? Yeah. But you just do it because it does. Oh my gosh, it pays off tenfold, which is why I'm so passionate about what you do, Ed, is because so many people are afraid of it and they don't know what to do. And so that guidance is so needed. And it's a huge service you're giving others. So I appreciate you letting me come on and spiel about why I'm so passionate about live, because
Yes.
we need content. So
Yes, no, I appreciate having you on the show and sharing all of these tips and allowing listeners to hear from your perspective why live is important, right? Because it's one thing to hear it from me, somebody who's been doing it and who is teaching others to do it, but it's another to hear it from someone like you, because you have the experience. You also are a mom, and you're juggling all the different things, and so this gives that real feel, that real touch that people can really be relatable to. And it just takes it to that next level. So I appreciate you spending the time with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. All right. I hope that you all enjoyed this episode and that you are going to bookmark this and save it, because you have a lot of great tips there that you can go back and listen to. And if you learned nothing else from this episode, it's to what? Go live. Just go live and be able to share your message with the world. And if you need help, of course, reach out. We can talk about how I can help you and how my Coaches Go Live program can help you get there a little bit quicker and a little bit more organized as we help you create your show, which can also be used as your podcast. So if you need anything, reach out and we will talk to you next time. Take care, everyone.